I'm going to do a little tutorial here on building an ePortfolio from scratch. Now, many of you may have received an ePortfolio template or shell from your professor or your mentor, but if you want to do it all on your own, if they just give you an assignment and tell you to make an ePortfolio and they say to you, you can either use PebblePad or Wix or Weebly or some other thing like WordPress, and you choose to use PebblePad, this is how you would do it. You would click on the Get Creative thing and create a portfolio, right? Now let me show you some of the features of building a portfolio in PebblePad. So here we have a banner on our home page here, and I'm going to name this Leslie B. Frank E. Portfolio. Okay. And also, my professor has instructed me to put my theme in here. Right? And the year in which I took the course. This is what they put in the assignment. And actually, this is a good practice for anybody, for any course. You want to be clear about what kind of a course it is. Like, for what course are you making an ePortfolio? Or if you're just making it for your own fun, you don't care about this. But we in university studies would like to know, what year did you take the class and what was your theme? That's important to us. Now, I don't like this image. And I should tell you that I've already downloaded a bunch of images, and I'll just put that here so you can see. The site is called pixabay.com. Now, pixabay.com is a site that has, I want to say duty-free, but that's not correct, copyright-free images that you can download and be confident using them in your ePortfolio without violating somebody's rights as an artist by stealing their material, right? So you want to be really careful about that whenever you download an image to put in your ePortfolio or any work that you do at the university. Actually, you want to be clear on who has ownership of that image. Now, if you take pictures on your own phone, you're out and about in a field trip with your Frank class and you snap some pictures, that's fine. You can upload those from your own phone. But Pixabay is one of the sites that I really like to get pictures from. So I like this better. It's more colorful. It makes me feel happier. Now, one thing that I tell my students is that it's actually best when you're making an ePortfolio to use an image that has something to do with the theme. So if my professor said that to me, I'd like to see something about sustainability or Portland, I might put something like this in here. It's also an image from Pixabay. Okay, so now I'm going to add some text. My professor told me to go ahead and give my own interpretation. Oh, wait, no, that's a goal page. Sorry. Okay, so here I'm going to say, welcome. Say a little about myself. Yeah, blah, 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 d. Okay, up here, this is this page that I'm working on right now. There's a little settings box where if I click on it, you see this? It helps me to change the name of this page. And this is now my welcome page. Confirm. All right. Now, I've also been told I have to have all four of the university studies goals. Oops, and inquiry Sorry, my fingers just don't fly. There's one. Then there's communication, right? That's one of our goals. I'm going to change this. I'm going to put communication, right? And so on. There's two more. And then they also told me that I need to have a page or a tab, for reflections. Okay? So pretend that I have all these things. I have my welcome page where I talk about myself, why I'm at PSU, why I maybe picked this theme. Then I have critical thinking communication. Okay, so you can see this page is totally blank. And I want to add a banner that says the name of the goal, okay, and down here I can actually put the goal itself. You can find these on our website. Actual goal at pdx.edu/UNST. You can find it. And so this would be the wording that's in the actual critical thinking and inquiry goal. Again, I don't like this color. It's freaking me out. Let's just use one of Pebble Pad's things, right? And here, the professor has told me, this is where I'm going to add text, that I have to have my interpretation of the goal. So I have to have that. That's a requirement on each page. So I go blah, blah, blah. This is what I think about this goal. This is how it's perhaps related to my theme of Portland. Yada, yada, yada. Now, down here, I'm going to attach, I'm going to have an assignment I am using as evidence of my work towards this goal, right? And I might attach the assignment here. Okay, so one thing I want to show you here in these text things, whenever you highlight text, you can do all sorts of things to it. See here, I can make this bold because it's a header. I can make it bigger because it's a header, or maybe not that big, right? I can change the kind of font. Georgia's a little more fancy, right? I can even make it a different color if I want to. Another thing you need to know about the text box, see this text block properties, that refers to this block that I'm working in right here. And I may say, oh, I want to have a different color. I can have any color I want, but this is what I'm doing here, right? It doesn't really match this, but whatever, you do what you think is right. Another thing that I can do is I can say, well, I want to put an image next to this. And I can go into my assets store and say, oh, here's a picture of me and other students in mentor session. Let's say that this is me. It's not. It's another student, but I can say, oh, here I am. I'm working on something in mentor session. And, another thing that you can do, like if you're working with an image, you can add a title. So it'll tell you what it is here. Working with other students in mentor session, right? That's kind of long, so I might not want to do that. Or I can add a caption, and the caption is smaller, so I might want to do that in this case. Okay, so you can do whatever you feel you need to do here, right? And these, by the way, oops. See what happened? I popped it out. But what I was going to say is These, by the way, don't have the highlighting feature that they do in the text boxes. So these you can change. All this text you can change. But when you're working with an image like this, we don't have yet the capability to change this text. We may, right, in the future. So you can put it below. You can do whatever you want to do. You can even put images on the other side, right? I think the most you can do is 2 like this. You can't, like, for example, just keep adding stuff. Here, the quote one is an interesting thing. I don't always use it myself. I like to do my quotes a little differently. But if I add a quote, this is what it will look like, right? It will always be formatted this way. So I say, quote, da 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 da, whatever it is, right? This is the quote that I'm quoting. And then I say, this is by Aristotle, 5th century BC, before the Common Era, right? Aristotle, you know, the time, the date, whatever. So there's my quote, because I'm trying to be so cool. Or I could have Shakespeare in there, whatever. That's what the quote function looks like. You can add audio. You can add, we don't need to worry about badges right now. You can add a video. So here, you can add, so here you can open your asset store and there's something that you uploaded, right? That's a video, you can put it in here. Or looking to add, use our embed blocks. So here's where you would go, and this is where you can add all these kinds of different things. And there's more services, like they say here. Here's our list of everything that you can embed in your ePortfolio, right? And just, I go back like this. Okay, so if you want to use YouTube, you would put the code here, right? So look at all this stuff I put in here. It's pretty easy to use. It's a lot like Legos, building blocks, right? You just build up until you're finished. And then at the very end, you can say, this is Leslie B. Portland Frank ePortfolio, right? I'm confirming that that's what it is. Now I've saved it. If I go back to PebblePad to the main page and I look in my assets, there it is. And I can work on it again, right? This is the preview button if I want to see what it looks like on the web or to myself or to my professor, right? There's that page, what that would look like. I can preview it. And that's how this works. So I hope this has been helpful for you.